So I handle your benefits for your disability, for your accidental injury, for catastrophic things like cancer, heart attacks, and strokes, and life insurance.
Okay.
What do you do here at the company?
I'm a manager for a soil company. We test dirt for oil companies, and we have some prestigious clients of ours, and we do a good job of testing the dirt.
Cool. So what does that look like exactly? You guys, do they send you samples? Do you go out and get samples?
A little bit of both. I mean, sometimes they want a specialist to go out there and collect the samples themselves in various areas. Other times they send it to us. We have a lab here. We've got many different facets of employees.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing that?
Well, I've been managing the company for about 15 years.
Oh, so you're just getting to know your way around with that.
Fairly new to it, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So, in your position, do you do a lot of that analyzing yourself, or do you have people who do that?
I more create the relations with the businesses that are using our services and kind of manage the schedule, manage the traveling, that sort of thing, making sure our team is working like a function business.
Sure. And do you do any traveling yourself? Do you go to the job sites?
I do. From time to time, I have to head out there and help out some businesses with their samples and just kind of create those relationships.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So you're
traveling, actually.
What's that?
A lot of traveling.
Oh, okay. So nationwide or just certain parts of the country?
Nationwide, and we do have some clients of ours out in France.
Really?
Yeah. Surprisingly.
That's random.
Yeah.
Never would have thought that France would be sending you soil samples.
They've got some nice soil out there.
Is that for the wine industry?
It is for the wine industry out there.
Okay. It is. Awesome. So when you travel, are you hiking out in fields? Are you operating equipment? What exactly does that role look like for you when you're out?
I typically have someone with me that does the majority of that. Again, I focus on kind of relations and how the business partnership works, but I am out in the field sometimes, walking around, getting familiar with the work site.
Okay. And when you're not working, when you're not traveling, what do you like to do personally?
I work a lot, but I actually enjoy going to the casino. It's a big passion of mine.
Really?
Yeah. I'm a gambler.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what is your, real short, what is your best win you've had in a casino?
3-card poker. I just hit this big jackpot 6-card bonus. It was a straight flush.
Okay.
And it paid 200 to 1.
Really?
So I won I had a $5 bet on it, 201 $1,000
nice.
on that. So it's pretty freaking cool.
That's great. And on the flip side of that, have you ever had any losses in the casino?
Oh yeah. I had a little bit of a down spurt, and unfortunately ended my divorce.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So, but I toned it back. That's for sure.
The
gambling.
The gambling. Okay.
I toned it back.
And if you don't mind me asking, when you did lose, how much did you lose?
About $10,000.
At one time?
Yeah.
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 Had
a hard time paying rent.
I bet. I bet that was a struggle financially for you.
It was. And then the wife left.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Do you have any kids?
2 kids.
Okay. How old are they?
One is 7 and one is 10. Both boys.
Okay. Are your kids involved in sports or after-school activities? Or
yeah, they both play hockey, actually.
Really? Yeah. Have they ever gotten hurt playing hockey?
Thankfully, no, but there's some scares, a couple bruises, bumps. Hockey's pretty brutal sport. But I enjoy watching it. So.
Okay. Any trips to the emergency room for the kids?
One when they were younger, he bumped his head actually. When his brother was fighting and hit his head, got a little cut, and they had to go and get some stitches, small area of it.
What was that? The 7-year-old or the 10-year-old?
That was the 7-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah. The 10-year-old was throwing pens at him. They were trying to dodge. Like they just saw the Matrix.
I used to do that with my brother. Okay. I totally get that.
And he took the pen to head.
Yes. Yes. Although when I did it, it was jarts, if you remember the
Darts?
jarts, the big
Jarts?
lawn ornaments with big spears on the end.
Oh,
My
yeah.
brother and I would dodge those.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a big scar on my leg from one of those.
Yeah.
So when your son went to the emergency room, how many stitches did he have?
It was a pretty small cut. It was probably about 5 stitches, 6 stitches.
And was there cost associated with that?
Yeah, we have a pretty catastrophic major medical plan, so when we went to the emergency room, we actually had to pay our deductible, which was it was $2,500 at the time.
For the family plan?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. What did that look like for you financially? Was that when you were on your winning streak with the gambling, or was that when you were on the downside?
This was it was tough. It was really tough. It took away from my gambling money, but it wasn't what it was. And yeah, it was tough for the family, that's for sure, having to come up with that extra money.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because with our accidental injury plan that the company is offering you, if that plan would have been in place when you would have gone to the doctor with your son with the stitches, you would have got a benefit on our accident plan for going to the emergency room. We would have paid you $120 for the visit. On top of that, we would have paid money for the laceration and the stitches.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that extra money that we put in your pocket goes to help pay down your deductible.
Okay.
That's what I do.
A couple $100, yeah, to help with that.
Well, did your son have to take an ambulance to the hospital?
No, we took him there ourselves. We did have to do a couple follow-ups, but
Did he have any x-rays?
no X-ray, not for that one.
No MRIs or CT scans?
No.
Okay. If those services would have been performed, that would have been additional funds in your pocket.
Okay.
So what the benefits do that I offer cover your out-of-pocket medical expenses that your major medical doesn't cover.
Gotcha.
So you guys are on a Kaiser Silver plan.
Yeah.
And so with your $2,500 deductible, you know that that's an out-of-pocket cost that you have to pay, right?
Mm-hmm.
You also have the privilege of going to the doctor, which is called copay.
Okay.
And you also have prescriptions. I'm sure your son needed an antibiotic or at least something put on.
They give him some ointments and stuff. Yeah.
And you had to pay for that as well, right?
Probably. It was like $15. So
yeah. Well, the money that Aflac benefits provide you go toward your family. So you have your major medical, and I guess the best analogy I can give you is think of a coin, right? On the one side is your major medical, your Kaiser, and Kaiser pays doctors and they pay hospitals. Flip that coin over. We don't pay doctors and hospitals. We pay you. We pay me. We pay David. We pay everybody who has our plans. And that money, when it goes into your pocket, helps you.
Okay.
And that's a good thing, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
More money in our pockets is a good thing.
We're getting more money for gambling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you could also pay your copays and deductibles.
Well, yeah, the
with that.
$2,500 would have been helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. So we do have, we do help you out financially.
Okay.
And that's a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So let me ask you a question. When you said that you travel quite a bit and you're out in the field, have you yourself ever been hurt or injured?
I have, actually.
What happened?
I was in France, and we were out on the field, and I guess this wire fence broke and slapped and came over and actually cut my leg open.
Did you have to go to the doctor?
I did.
Did you have
That was
to?
an experience, I'll tell you that.
You speak French?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, a little, but not enough. Yeah.
So it was probably they had to get an interpreter, I'm guessing.
They had someone there at the hospital. It's just different than what was out here. That's for
Okay.
sure.
And when you got back, did you get checked by a doctor here in the U.S.?
I didn't.
Okay. Had you gotten checked by a doctor here in the U.S.? And did you have any follow-ups when you got back?
I had some residual actually pain from it.
Okay.
About a month later, so I kind of went. I guess that's when I did do the checkup. And I went back and checked on it.
Okay. So again, one of our plans, the accident plan, which would cover you on or off the job 24/7, cover your kids as well. When you went to the doctor here to follow up, that would have been something that we would have been able to put some money in your pocket for.
Even though workers' comp paid for it.
Yeah, so our accident plan covers, as I mentioned, on or off the job injuries.
Huh.
So even though your work comp covered it, we're not necessarily concerned with work comp. We're concerned by you and your injuries.
Okay.
So we pay on top of what work comp pays.
Okay. That could have been helpful.
Yeah. Have you ever had any experience missing work? You have to miss work from this injury.
A couple of days, not too bad. A couple wasn't too bad. And then, back at the office, I kind of had a little bit of a relax for about a week.
Okay.
Sticking around the office, I didn't have too much travel.
Okay. So when you did take time off work, did that affect you financially?
I had a couple sick days, I used for it. So,
Okay.
I didn't really see much of a, problem there.
Sure. Have any of the guys on your team or anyone you know in the company taken time off work for an injury or an illness?
Yeah, recently one of our foremen, he actually was just diagnosed with cancer.
Dude, I'm sorry.
He said he had to take off some time.
That is horrible.
It was pretty hard for him and his family.
And what did that look like financially for him?
I don't know. He ended up. I'm sure he had to borrow some money. He came to the business center last week. I was talking with the owner. But
did you guys help him out?
Oh no. He couldn't do. I mean, he had what he had. The sick time was up pretty quick, and kind of a hard situation to be in.
It's cancer is the most devastating thing out there financially, and we have something within our company called the Workforces Report, and it tells us we do surveys and we get a lot of information on businesses all across the country, and we know that cancer is absolutely the most financially devastating thing for a family, and 80% of people who have large medical bills end up declaring bankruptcy as a result.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is. And that's why I'm here, because our plans protect you financially against things like cancer, against catastrophic things like heart attacks and strokes, and we help cover your paycheck if you get injured or sick. And as I mentioned with our accident plan, that's 24/7 coverage on or off the job.
So the accident plan protects for cancer because it's an accident of getting it?
Not quite. Think of it this way. An accident is anything from the outside of the body in.
Okay.
An illness is anything from the inside of the body out.
Right. Makes sense.
So in a situation where you were in France and the fence broke and cut your leg,
yeah,
or when your son had to go get stitches from the pen throwing incident, our accident plan would have covered your son and would have covered you for those injuries. Okay. The accident plan covers on or off the job.
Gotcha.
Cancer plan is actually how Aflac got started 62 years ago. And our cancer plan covers internal cancer. So somebody, like I have a client, for example, who is a breast cancer survivor. And when she was diagnosed with breast cancer, she ended up having to go through chemo. She ended up having to go through radiation, ultimately had some surgeries, had home health care, had a bunch of costs associated with that. Our cancer plan actually paid her about $85,000 over the course of her, when she was initially diagnosed, to the end of her treatment. Wow. And that money she was able to use toward her mortgage. She was able to pay her bills. She was able to pay her co-pays, her deductibles, her car insurance, for food on the table.
Wow. So that's a completely separate plan from the accident plan.
Totally.
So multiple plans. Okay.
Yeah. Think of it like going to a restaurant. You have your appetizer, your salad, your entree, your dessert. Our plans are similar to that. We have the accident plan, which covers you, as I mentioned, on or off the job. Okay. We have our cancer plan, which is going to cover you if you or your kids are diagnosed with cancer. Mm-hmm. We have plans to cover heart attacks and strokes. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the conversation, we have disability, which covers your paycheck if you can't come to work. Okay. Let me ask you a question. Yeah. If you couldn't come to work for 3 weeks or longer, would that be financially difficult for you?
Yeah, because I only have, maybe 6 days of sick time. So yeah, that would actually absolutely hurt.
What's your plan if you have to use that sick time and it goes away, you use it up? What's your backup plan?
Might have to dip into some savings, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of hard.
So remember I told you about our workforces report that our company creates? We know statistically that about 80% of Americans have less than $1,000 in their checking account, and the majority of those people are living paycheck to paycheck. Now, I'm not going to make any assumptions, but you did say that you like to gamble and you did have some losses, and at some point that was financially troubling for you.
Yeah.
to the point where your wife left, right?
Yeah.
So if we're going to take that a step further, if you did get hurt or sick or go down, and you use up your sick time, once you dip into your savings, what's your plan?
Guess I don't really have one.
That's
Hopefully win in gambling.
That's why I'm here. So we can always assume that we might do well at gambling, right? I mean, that's the hope. That's why we go to the casino. But the long and short of it is, like you've experienced, oftentimes there are more losses than there are wins. And what I do is I create a financial safety net for you and your kids to protect you in the event that you get hurt or sick.
Okay.
So what do you think plans like that, like our accident or disability, our cancer coverage, and one for heart attacks and strokes, what do you think something like that would cost?
Based on major medical, I pay like $1,000 a month, it feels like. But I think maybe a couple $100.
Couple $100 a month? If I could design a safety net that would protect you financially for a couple $100 a month, would that be worth it for you?
It kind of, I'm not paying this major medical, so I don't know. A couple $100, it's kind of a lot more than what I'm kind of looking to spend right now.
What if we dialed that back a little bit and it wasn't a couple $100 a month? Mm-hmm. Would that be better?
Yeah, we can look at the numbers.
Would you like to look at the numbers?
Yeah.
Awesome. I put together this sheet. You are one of the managers here in the company, so you're at the higher end of the pay scale. Mm-hmm. If I take your accident plan and I break it out to an hourly basis, would it surprise you to say that it costs less than 15 cents an hour on your pay?
That's surprising, yeah.
Yeah. It's incredibly affordable. Okay. And the safety net, based on what you and I have talked about, the safety net that I would consider putting together for you would cover you for on or off the job injuries. You'd want to cover your kids, right?
I think so. I mean, I don't think they have anything like that covered. I don't ask her to see.
Well, remember when you said your 7-year-old went to the doctor and had the stitches?
Yeah.
And remember I said that would have been several $100s in your pocket based on that plan?
Right.
You said at the time that would probably be a good fit for your kids.
Yeah.
So covering your kids makes sense, right?
Yes.
Okay. So with our disability plan, would it surprise you to say that that's only about $15 out of your paycheck?
On a bi-weekly basis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very affordable.
So it's about $30 a month, maybe a little more, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So if we put the accident plan together, the short-term disability plan together, do you have any life insurance for your kids?
I think our work has something in place, but I don't think much.
You guys have a $10,000 policy that the company pays.
Yeah, okay.
And that only pays if you die on the job.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's life insurance. Okay.
Well, it is life insurance, but it only covers you for on the job.
Huh.
Our life insurance goes up to $500,000, and it covers you whether you're traveling in France or anywhere in the U.S. and be killed on or off the job. And you mentioned that you don't have a lot of savings to cover your medical bills. What do you have in place to take care of your kids if something were to happen?
I guess if it's off the job, not much then. So I never really thought about it. I guess something for them would probably be good.
Well, the $10,000 that your job would pay you if you die while you're working would barely cover your funeral expenses.
Right.
You know, cost of a burial can range anywhere from about $12,000 to about $20,000. So right now, with that $10,000, we're about $8,000 behind. Our life insurance, and you're a young guy. You're about 28,
29.
Yeah. So for life insurance, for a $250,000 policy, which is right in the middle of kind of the range of what we do, breaks down to literally less than $20 a paycheck.
Not too bad. Okay.
So the safety net that I would put together for you and your kids, cover you if anything were to happen, would be our accident plan, our short-term disability, and our life insurance plan. Okay. And the Three of
So
those,
what does that come out to on a per paycheck basis?
$48.90 per paycheck.
Not too bad. I think I can afford that.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Should we go ahead and do that to protect your family?
Is it something I can look at, or I mean, when can I cancel this at any time? Let's say I look it over or whatever, and I'm just deciding, you know what, I can't afford this anymore.
So two things, you asked me two different questions. So the first question you asked me was, can I cancel this?
Yeah.
And the answer is yes.
Okay.
However, you have to do it within the confines of an open enrollment.
Okay.
So you're in open enrollment now, and a year from now, when I come back, we go over all the new plans and help you with any claims for your kids or anything that's happened. We can adjust it or make changes at that time based on your income.
Okay.
Now the second,
So I'm locked in for a year.
does it seem like you're being locked into something?
Well, I don't know. I just if if times are getting tough and I need to cut some expenses, that's my own concern.
Well, keep in mind we take these plans out of your paycheck prior to you getting paid, right? So the money comes out. It's you get your paycheck and they're already subtracted out.
Okay.
So when we talk about protecting your family, is less than a tank of gas worth protecting yourself and your family?
Yeah, I guess so. Makes sense.
Okay.
Just kind of wanting to understand it.
Totally. You can make changes during open enrollment.
Okay.
So when you and I meet next year, we can talk about what additional things you either want to add or things you want to subtract.
Okay.
Want to go ahead with that?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it.
All right, Jerry.
Cool.
Very nice to meet you.
Man,